There are 8 levels in the world of bodybuilding. 8 stages that every man who walks into a gym will experience. Few reach level 5. Even fewer reach level 7. But level 8? That's where everyone should end up. Watch, and you'll understand. Level 1. The tourist. The first contact with the iron is curious, even funny. He shows up full of energy, but with no direction. Trains whatever he sees others doing. Jumps from one machine to another. Doesn't count sets. Doesn't know what failure means. Sometimes talks too much. Other times says nothing, too shy to ask. He takes a mirror selfie, posts it with the caption, "Full focus." But the next day, he doesn't show up. He goes once, maybe twice a week, or only when he feels like it. And that's fine. Everyone starts lost. At this stage, training is still an idea, not a habit. But this is where the seed of change is planted. Because every tourist who falls in love with a place eventually comes back to stay. Level 2. The beginner. Now he wants to learn. Starts watching tutorials, asks the trainer questions, writes workouts in his notes app, but still makes basic mistakes, breathes wrong, cuts the range of motion, thinks he needs to train everything, every day. He's ashamed of being the weakest, the skinniest, or maybe the chubbiest one in the gym. He thinks everyone's watching him, when in reality, no one cares. And this is where most people quit. Not because it's too hard, but because they don't yet understand that progress is invisible for the first few months. The beginner is made of trial and error. But with each imperfect workout, he gets closer to the version of himself who will one day know exactly what he's doing. Level 3. The vain. This is the most fun, and for many the most dangerous stage. Now he trains with passion. He wants results, wants attention, buys tighter clothes, sprays a little cologne before training, fixes his hair before grabbing the barbell. It's the gym crush phase. He wants to be noticed. And that's okay, because vanity for a while is what keeps him consistent. Training gains rhythm. The pump feels addictive. The mirror starts to show changes, and the ego whispers, "You're different." And in a way, he is. He just hasn't realized yet that the mirror isn't there to show off. It's there to make him face himself. Level 4. The consistent. Now vanity fades, and habit replaces emotion. He trains even when he's tired, even without motivation. He no longer needs attention. He needs silence. He walks in alone, headphones on, focused stride. Nods to the receptionist, warms up, adjusts the weights, and gets to work. The gym isn't a place anymore. It's a ritual. Here, the iron becomes refuge. Each set is a conversation with himself, each rep a release. He realizes the body isn't the only thing changing. The mind is growing stronger too. Training stops being about appearance and becomes about balance. Level 5. The student. As time goes on, he starts seeking efficiency, wants to understand biomechanics, nutrition, recovery. Watches training videos, reads articles, learns what RIR, volume, and progressive overload really mean. He learns he doesn't need 30 sets, he needs 3 good ones. Discovers the value of sleeping well, eating right, tracking everything. The body becomes a laboratory, and he becomes the scientist. But the more he learns, the less he feels the need to prove anything to anyone. Progress becomes quiet. He realizes knowledge isn't for showing off, it's for refining. Level 6. The sculptor. At this point, training becomes art. Every rep has intention. The body responds. The control is complete. He masters his mind, feels the muscle before it even contracts. But every art demands sacrifice. The routine is rigid, the diet weighs heavy, and social life begins to fade. He isolates himself, not out of arrogance, but because he's learned to be at peace alone. The gym is his temple, the iron his altar, and the artist doesn't stop until the sculpture feels complete. Though deep down, he knows this sculpture is never finished, because the human body is a masterpiece in constant progress. Level 7. The competitor. Here, bodybuilding stops being a hobby. It becomes a calling. He starts thinking about competing, about being an athlete, about building something truly elite. Some do it to prove something to others, others to prove something to themselves. Everything is calculated. Training, sleep, water, salt, fiber, posing. He lives on the edge between performance and exhaustion. He's learned to live with hunger, pain, and fatigue. The body is at its peak, but life has narrowed down to discipline. The stage becomes a reflection of sacrifice, and every second up there represents years of repetition. But even at the top, he learns something profound. The only real opponent was never another athlete. It was always himself. And maybe that's the ultimate lesson in bodybuilding. There is no victory without self-mastery. Level 8. The Elder. Time passes. The weights feel heavier now, not because he got weaker, but because he learned to respect his limits. The goal is no longer to be the biggest in the gym. It's to be the most consistent. To wake up without pain, eat well, sleep deeply, move freely, and still want to train tomorrow. He's understood that the iron was never an enemy, it was a teacher. Growing old while training is the privilege of those who never gave up. The Elder once trained for looks, then for performance, and now he trains for health. Some people enter the gym already at this stage, older, wiser, starting straight from level 8. He has nothing to prove. He just wants to last, to live longer, enjoy time with his family, be strong enough to play with his kids and grandkids. He trains calmly, smiles, gives advice to beginners, doesn't care about the mirror anymore, because his reflection lives in the years of discipline behind him. Every man passes through these levels. Some stay trapped between vanity and comparison. Others fall, get back up, and keep going until they finally understand that the iron doesn't just build muscle, it builds character. And this channel, even though it's new, exists to help you move up, no matter which level you're at. So if you made it this far, check out the other videos, ask your questions in the comments. We'll be glad to help however we can. Subscribe, leave a like, and we'll see you in the next one.